second graders, today we're going to work on lesson 8, punctuating dialogue. The objective, I can use correct dialogue punctuation when I punctuate dialogue with the tag at the beginning. Yesterday you worked on punctuating dialogues with tags at the end. Today you're working on punctuating dialogue with tags at the beginning. Okay, turning to page 31, we're going to hunt for some dialogue. Circling the quotation marks and underlining the dialogue. All right. Quotation mark. Maybe we should ask Mr. Kadinsky if we could sweep up his shop or something to earn the rest of the money. Quotation mark. Stuart said, tag at the end. Quotation mark. I don't know. Quotation mark. Winnie said fearfully, tag at the end. Quotation. He's such a strange old man. He never smiles at anyone. He always looks so mean. Quotation mark. We all agreed that it was worth a try anyway. On this particular page, I don't know if you've noticed, but they're actually all ending with dialogue tags at the end. There are dialogue tags in the beginning, but they are not as common, I have found, so at least when I'm looking for examples for you guys. But I do want you to know that dialogue tags can come at the beginning and you can add them into your own writing. So I want to practice that now. All right, so we did numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 yesterday. Look at the examples. The I love ice cream, ending with the exclamation mark. And then when we punctuate number 3, when we punctuated that correctly, it's quotation marks outside of the I love ice cream and the dialogue tag, she said. Now today we want to take that dialogue tag, she said, and add it to the beginning. So she said, comma, I love ice cream. So I want to try that with my own writing. Okay, so I looked at, ew, what are you? I wondered. I'm going to say, I wondered. I wondered, comma first, then the quote. Ew. What are you? There's the dialogue. I wondered, ew, what are you? All right, for number 6, so 5 and 6 we're doing today, it ends in a period. For that one I had said, I don't think you're supposed to be there. When I punctuated that correctly, I have my quotation marks at the beginning. I don't think you're supposed to be there, comma, and then I thought. So I'm going to take the I thought, the dialogue tag, and add it at the beginning. So I thought, and use this for some help, he said, comma, I read for an hour. I thought, comma, and what's my dialogue? I don't think you're supposed to be there. I don't think you're supposed to be there. Period and quotation. Here's my period and quotation. All right, so what's interesting is that when we have dialogue that ends in a question mark, we punctuate with a question mark and then we have our tag after, ends in a period. When we have our dialogue tag at the beginning, instead of putting a period at the end, we have a comma and then we have our dialogue. When we have our dialogue with a period, I don't think you're supposed to be there, and we have that punctuated correctly, we have, in quotes, I don't think you're supposed to be there, comma, and then we have the dialogue tag. When we punctuate that with the dialogue tag at the beginning, we have the dialogue tag, I thought, comma, and then we have the quote, I don't think you're supposed to be there, ending with the period. Okay, so after you finish that, I want you to look at your own writing. And I've been working on my story. I hope you guys have been adding some more dialogue to your story as well, and changing things around and rereading it often. Okay, so let me read, and I'm going to go on a hunt for dialogue in my own story. Let's see. Creak, my knees cracked as I squatted next to my garden box. I wanted to get my garden boxes ready for planting. I dug into the soil and unearthed curled up creatures. Ew, what are you? I wondered. I don't think you're supposed to be there, I thought. This is what I added yesterday. And I have my dialogue that ends in a question mark inside my quotation marks and my dialogue tag after. I wondered. I don't think you're supposed to be there. That one would end with a period, but it turns to a comma, quotation mark, and dialogue tag at the end. I don't think you're supposed to be here, I thought. I discovered several white bugs that seemed to live in clusters. Out of my 6 garden beds, I found these white bugs in every bed. I began to panic. I needed to know what they were called. I pulled out my phone. White bug in garden, I said as I typed into the Google search bar. So let me go back. There was a quote there. White bug in garden. Let me move this book out of the way. There we go. I said as I typed into the Google search bar. There's my tag at the end. I clicked on Google Images. I saw a picture of what I was holding in my hand and the word grub underneath. I used quotes because this is the exact word that I was copying out of the article that I found. Grub? That's what Pumbaa and Timon eat in The Lion King, I thought to myself. There's my dialogue and my dialogue tag at the end. Well, are they good or bad for the garden? You see that? There we go. Good or bad for the garden. Back up to the top here. I clicked on the photo and started to read about the bug. I skimmed the article about grubs. Then I found it. Grubs can wreak damage in the vegetable garden. So here I have it in quotes because these are the exact words that came out of the article. Which we're going to learn later when we do nonfiction writing. If we are taking words from a book or from an article, we can't claim them as our own words, so we have to put them into quotes. Grubs can wreak damage in the vegetable garden. Grubs eat the roots of plants, which end up killing them. That's it. These buggies need to go. Oh, there's some dialogue. That's it. These buggies need to go, I told myself. How do I know they're not going to come back? I asked myself. All right, Google, how do I get rid of the grubs naturally? I said to myself. That's more dialogue. I didn't add my quotation mark. All right, Google, how do I get rid of these grubs naturally? There's my dialogue. I said to myself, beneficial nematodes, the article said. So here's some quotation marks because I'm taking the exact words from the article. Beneficial nematodes, the article said. What are those? I said. Dialogue tag at the end. Well, let me go ask the employees at the nursery. I left the closest nursery in search of beneficial nematodes. All right, students, your job today is to hunt for dialogue on page 31 and underline the dialogue, circle the quotation marks. Then you're filling out numbers, in this book still, 5 and 6, making sure that you punctuated your dialogue correctly with your tag at the beginning. Then I want you to read through your draft and check to see if you punctuated your dialogue correctly. When you're done, if you haven't finished adding all of your words into your draft, spend about 10 minutes putting some more thoughts down into your paper. If you have finished writing out your draft, I want you to think of some more dialogue that you can add in or some more details that can go inside.